NTA International News.
Peace and Security Commission of African Union gives priority to fight against terrorism for stable environment in the continent. Nigeria and Portugal partner in the development of smaller Earth observatory satellite. Information Minister advises the media to brace up to the challenges of professionalism and ethics. Hello there and a warm welcome to NTA International News at this time. My name is Justin Bemunyet. Glad to have you join us. The just concluded 28th African Union Summit in Addis Ababa took far-reaching decisions that will bring about greater Africa integration. Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyema made the disclosure in a media parley in Abuja. Omni Oden has the details.
Its other decisions taken at the just concluded 28th African Union Summit is the formation of a unit by the AU to monitor implementation of resolutions taken as the union meetings are no more talk shop without action in the context of recent reforms. The minister gave an update on why Nigeria lost in its bid to clinch the Peace and Security Commission office at the AU, as well as on the significance of the readmission of Morocco into the union. The United Nations at the summit, he said, resolved to press for and ensure increased funding of peacekeeping efforts in conflict areas in the African continent.
This is going to promote trade, greater trade amongst African countries. And, you know, various heads of state said that this is extremely important because at the moment the level of intra-African trade, you know, was extremely low. It was
on the collective withdrawal by the AU from the International Criminal Court, ICC, the minister said though a committee has been set up to that effect, it is not binding on all member countries given their sovereign status. The heads of states and government maintain their position and commitment to the establishment of an African free trade zone targeted at increasing the volume of trade among member countries. On recharging of the Lake Chad and sundry issues, Geoffrey Onyema said an international donor conference organized by Norway and Germany is underway for the 24th of February in Oslo.
The African Union is saying no, that henceforth, if the European Union is coming to negotiate, it should only negotiate with the African Union.
The minister said Professor Ibrahim Gambari has been appointed eminent member of the African Peer Review Mechanism. Omni Oden, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Peace and Security Commission of the African Union says the fight against terrorism is top priority for the restoration of a congenial and stable environment in the continent. AU Commissioner in charge of Peace and Security, Ismail Shagui, said to achieve this, a special fund has been established by the Union. Again, correspondent Omni Oden reports.
To actualize the plan, which is expected to commence by June this year, a capacity building and planning process is already in place. The commissioner said AfriPol, which will enhance policing of the continent, will be launched soon. Before then, he explained that a General Assembly of Chiefs of Police and Chiefs of Defense of member states will be held. On the success recorded in the onslaught against Boko Haram by the Nigerian government, as well as the multinational Joint Task Force, he said,
So I want to pay tribute to Nigeria, to Niger, to Chad, to Cameroon and Benin for this contribution. It's also in a way a rapid reaction force created by these countries, which is bringing its results. It is mainly based on the resources of these countries.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's Minister of Defense, Monsieur Dan Ali, says
this could be attributed to the Mr. President's will, political will, by providing the logistic support to our armed forces, including the multinational Joint Task Force that was created by him, which has never been done before in terms of carrying our neighbors together.
The African Union is advocating additional assistance by international partners to scale up the coverage of more grounds. Omni Oden, NTA News.
And from the science sector comes a report that Nigeria and Portugal are working out modalities for a partnership in the development of a smaller Earth observatory satellite to strengthen the nation's capacity in satellite operations. The partnership arrangement was reached during a meeting between Portuguese Minister of Science, Technology and Higher Education, Professor Manuel Heito, and Director General of National Space Research and Development, NASDA, Professor Saidin Mohammed, in Abuja. Science correspondent Kiri Umayo reports.
The visit to Nigeria's space agency by the Portuguese Minister of Science, Technology and Higher Education enabled him to appreciate the level of space technology development in Nigeria and share professional knowledge with the nation's space engineers.
Nigeria has the largest space program in Africa, and we are promoting together with other African, Latin America and European countries an Atlantic International Research Center, essentially to combine space technology with ocean technology towards a better understanding of Atlantic interaction so that we can better understand the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations.
Director General of NASDA, Professor Saidin Mohammed, is optimistic that specific areas of the partnership with the Portuguese Space Agency are vital to the development of NASDA.
We'll be talking about the new space vision. We're happy that Portugal, which is part of the European Space Agency platform, is discussing on this. We're particularly happy to welcome that idea. We welcome them and we are willing to partner in the new direction.
The next meeting on the Space Technology Partnership will hold in Portugal in April. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has urged the conventional media to brace up to its statutory role guided by professionalism and ethics. The minister stated this when he visited the management of dark communications in Abuja. Anthony Forsen reports.
The minister explained that the conventional media has come a long way in its tradition of enlightening the people through undiluted and uncensored information. Today, he said the story is different and frowned at the rate with which fake stories have been allowed to dominate the media space.
Unfortunately, they may not be credible, but they go viral, and people believe them. And then because people believe these fake stories, this information, it's tearing the country apart and dividing us more than it ought to unite us.
Executive Chairman, Dare Communications, Raymond Paul Dokwesi, and the Group Managing Director, Tony Aketu, in their response, assured that Dare Communication, as a partner in progress, will work with government for the common good of the country.
It behoves on us in traditional media to definitely reaffirm our commitment to the highest ethics and standards of journalism, to investigate and fact-check stories before we go to press. Because we know that the role of the traditional media is sacrosanct. We believe that we're not supposed to feast on stories that are making the rounds in the social media. But we know the inherent dangers in doing so.
Dare Communications has on its table AIT and Repower. In Abuja, Anthony Forsen, NTA News.
Meanwhile, a joint committee of the Voice of Nigeria, VON, and the new Partnership of Africa's Development, NEPAD, will be set up to facilitate the realization of the goals of the NEPAD. The Director General of VON, Osita Okechukwu, announced this when he received the National Coordinator of NEPAD, Gloria Akubundu. Victor Azu reports.
Barely 5 months in the saddle, the National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer of NEPAD, Gloria Akubundu, is seeking ways of bringing development to the grassroots. With this in mind, she visits the Voice of Nigeria to create greater public enlightenment and support for the project.
We are taking our tour to the 36 states, including Abuja, on how we can integrate local government, the state, into national programs so that we can synergize and assess what belongs to us.
Her prayers were answered as her host pledges total support. Mr. Osita Okechukwu offers some of his staff in a partnership that will bring about a positive change in the welfare of Nigerians.
Why the joint committee is necessary is that a simple news is the one reported directly. But the main news is the one that the reporter has a content idea what the agency is doing, so that we will flow with you. We don't want tomorrow to be blamed of reporting or under-reporting any agency.
With this partnership in place, the people can now await more dividends in practical terms. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen, has appealed to Nigerians to allow President Muhammadu Buhari a free hand to perform his constitutional duties concerning the appointment of a substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. In a statement by the Office of the Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen stated that he believes the President does not need any threat or ultimatum to perform his constitutional duties and called for caution in the so-called agitation for his confirmation. While appreciating the interest of Nigerians in the process of the Chief Justice of Nigeria's appointment, the Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria dissociated himself from the individuals and groups issuing threats and ultimatums to the President. The statement, which was signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the Acting CJN, Awasam Bassi, said, while the headship of the third arm of government is important, issuing ultimatum and threats is a mark of disrespect to the office of the President. The Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria affirmed all the steps so far taken were still within the ambits of the law and called for greater support for the federal government in the fight to make the country a better place. As the saying goes, nothing good comes easy. Ask any successful man or woman, and he will reel out sacrifices that they have had to make. And that also goes for longevity or how long one lives on earth. Although life expectancy in Nigeria is said to be gradually picking up, guests on Good Morning Nigeria unanimously agree that a number of factors predispose one to the quality of life. Lydia Sampson reports.
40 to 50 years, it's okay for me. 100.
Wow. 80 years and above.
Some people in Abuja are responding to the question how long they wish to live on earth. For many people, long life will mean living beyond a particular benchmark. For guests on Good Morning Nigeria, it's way beyond 70 years. But as the saying goes, if wishes were horses, everyone will ride. Statistics from World Health Organization reveal that life expectancy varies from country to country. Comparatively with other developed countries, WHO ranks Nigeria low at 55 for women and 54 for men. Evaluating reasons for the disparity, guest on Good Morning Nigeria points at various socioeconomic factors, including income inequality, poor primary health care system, and poverty.
For any society to have good life expectancy or good life generally, your women must be educated. There's no argument about it. There's no magic about it. When you have an educated woman, she brings up an educated family.
The guests also hint at globalization, particularly influence on Western education on our dietary habits and its impact on quality of life.
You know, before we eat pounded yam, we eat less processed food and so on. Later at night. But we wake up in the morning, we go to the farm, you know, we work hard or we trek, as you said, from far, we burn them. But now you want to eat pounded yam, early in the morning you come out, you enter your car, you are going to NTA, you stretch your leg in the air-conditioned room, then you go back again, you say, Madam, I want pounded yam again, you end up with diabetes.
While urging government at all levels to pay more attention to recreation, immunization, and care of children from age 5, they also admonish individuals to nurture their health by eating right. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're watching NTA International News from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Stay on for more reports when we return after the break.
Africa as it is.
And thank you very much for being there. Some Nigerian Air Force contingent to the Gambia have returned after ensuring smooth installation of Adama Barrow as the president of that country. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, who was represented, commended the troops' discipline and gallantry in carrying out the ECOWAS mandate. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma was in Lagos and now brings us details.
The air assets deployed to the Gambia by the Air Force returned intact, just as it was when they departed on the 17th of January. However, of the 200 officers and men sent on the mission, only about 100 came home. This, the representative of the Chief of Air Staff says, is sequel to the new decision by the ECOWAS to provide security for President Adama Barrow in the next 6 months.
Officers, the contingent commander, air company commander, and some officers are back, and the airmen, we still have some to recover who are still there, and our transport airplanes are there to bring them back.
He said the level of professionalism exhibited by the troops is commendable as they made Nigeria proud, working with the military of other ECOWAS countries to uphold tenets of democracy in the Gambia.
It was nice that we were able to conduct the operation using deterrence and diplomacy. As at the time we went into the State House and the personal house of former President Jamir, I think it was actually very prepared for the war, but for the air power show that scared him, and I think that took control of everything. And gradually, we're also integrating the members of the Gambia Armed Forces into the security arrangement. So this will continue until we're sure the peace is stable, the Gambia is stable. Then, depending on the decision of the ECOWAS leaders, then the troops can be withdrawn.
As they return home to the known security challenge of Boko Haram insurgency, the slogan remains willing, able, and ready. From the three
handy. This time around, a total of 22,600 bags of rice, nearly 6,000 cans of 20-liter vegetable oil, among other consumables, including clothing, were presented to the IDPs and vulnerable communities.
What we hope and what we want or need is to go beyond supplying food items to the people. We want to create an environment where people will produce the food they eat.
The significance of the present intervention as a lifeline cannot be overemphasized. It has come at the nick of time when food and essential non-food items are much sought.
Chairman, National Logistics Committee, Assistant Controller General of Customs, Abdulkadri Azarema, encouraged IDPs across the Northeast to take advantage of the ongoing rehabilitation and rebuilding of the region by returning home to enjoy normal life. Shegulawale, NTA News.
And for some happenings in the world of business, let's join Chukununso Wabeze.
Many thanks for staying with us. Food safety expert John Teishe has lauded the federal government's approval for the setting up of task force on food security in the country. He said that the committee's mandate, which includes to ascertain reasons behind the current high cost of food items and how government can intervene, is a clear demonstration of the federal government's commitment towards alleviating the plight of its citizens.
If people can buy what they need at the price they have, then, of course, people will now begin to look at, people will be talking about choice. But if the price is too high, choice is defeated. And when choice is defeated, then the question of safety is undermined.
Meanwhile, a report by the Central Bank of Democratic Republic of Congo Friday reveals that the country mined 986,582 tons of copper in 2016, down by 5% from the 2015 output. The Apex Bank also forecasts an inflation rate increase of about 31.19% this year. It's against 25.04% estimated in 2016. And trading ended on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange Friday on a negative note as the All-Share Index depreciated by minus 0.52% to close at 25,802.54 basis points in 2,350 deals valued more than 1 trillion naira.
That's our package on this segment. I am Chukunonso Mwabweze. For reports from other parts of the globe, here is Chiazalam Eki.
We begin from Malta, where European leaders met to endorse plans on how they can forestall